Hello, everybody. This is a channel about health, and what goes along with health is nutrition. And one of the things we're all trying to figure out is when it comes to nutrition is what is the best diet for us? What is the best diet for people, for each person? And as we look at all the different diets out there, I often say many people look at nutrition to measure if that diet is well. The problem with that is everything has nutrition in it. You could eat anything and get nutrients. The problem is, or the question is, are we getting enough nutrients, the right nutrients in the right amounts? And also, how much work does your body have to do to get those nutrients out of what you're consuming? That is the key and the element that most people miss. For example, you can get nutrition from a cow and you can get nutrition from an orange. Now, do each of those have enough or proper nutrients that our body needs? No, not in one single thing. We need a variety of things. But within those things, they still have nutrition. The question now becomes is how hard does the body have to work to get those nutrients out of those things? And then the question is how much waste is left over? That is why an orange or an apple is so much better for us than something like a cow or a chicken. Because even though they both have nutrients, it's much easier to get them out of the fruit or even the vegetable than it would be out of the animal. And people might say, well, what do you mean easier? Well, what I mean is what's more easily assimilated and also how much waste is left over. That chicken or cow is going to have a lot of waste left over that the body has to deal with and get rid of. Where that orange or that apple, not only will it not have much waste, but it will have fiber, which is going to help push anything out that shouldn't be there in the natural process of the way the body works. We were designed to eat fruits and vegetables, and we were designed to digest and get rid of them properly. We were not designed to eat animals, and we have a very difficult time getting rid of the waste that's left over, the toxic waste that's added to the animal through drugs and chemicals. Just the animal chemical makeup itself is just way beyond what our bodies can handle. Now, regardless of that, we have to question why do some people thrive and other people don't thrive when they're eating a diet of fruits and vegetables. And from my many years of experience, I have found there's one thing that people are trying to get, know they need, but they're still not getting it. And today I'm going to tell you how I make sure I get it. And that is the essential nutrients that most people are deficient in that really are important in the complete picture when it comes to health. That is minerals. Now, it's easy to get vitamins from fruits and vegetables. It's easy to get vitamins from everywhere. Pretty much vitamins are in everything. There's different types of vitamins. There's so many vitamins that haven't even discovered yet. But of the ones that were discovered, pretty much we can get all the vitamins we need, whether you're eating animals or you're eating fruits and vegetables. Now, some people might question something like vitamin D. Vitamin D you can get from the sun, so regardless of which diet you're eating. Now, some people might question things like B12. Can we get B12 from a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet? Well, the B12 supplement was created for meat eaters. It wasn't created for vegans and vegetarians. It's just later on people made that connection. The B12 is literally made by the bacteria in your gut. It's not really a vitamin that you're working with. It's much more complex than that, because there are people like myself who, even though I take a B12 supplement, I never had any issues with B12. But if animal products had the B12 that supposedly people need, why are there people that eat animals that have B12 deficiencies? So B12 and other vitamins, everything we need from a vitamin standpoint, if we're eating the appropriate foods and giving our body the chance to cleanse like it should, we're not going to have these deficiencies. However, most people aren't in that situation. I don't think it hurts, and I do recommend not just vegans, but even meat eaters take a vitamin B12 supplement. I also recommend people take a vitamin D supplement because they're not getting the sun that they need and they're not converting it over. And vitamin D, vitamin B12, and for people on a vegan diet, or especially a raw food diet, vitamin K, which is another thing that's going to help with bone density and having the body assimilate is something that can be found in certain vegetarian foods, but it's on a limited basis. So I would recommend vitamin K as well as a supplement. And often you'll find D and K in the same supplement. So there are certain supplements that'll help unless you can go out of the way to get foods like fermented natto, which is fermented soybeans that have vitamin K in it. A lot of the uh, milks and all these other products on the market are fortified with vitamin D and so on. So that shows that people who are eating meat aren't really getting what they need to begin with as well. So there are a few supplements we could take, but I want to talk today about trace minerals, which is something that they call it minerals, and we think, well, that's such a small amount, it's just a trace of it that we need, but they're essential, and many people are deficient in these things. So I think not only on a raw vegan diet, but on any diet, people can benefit from the foods that I'm taking to make sure I'm getting these trace minerals. Often, superfoods or so-called these superfood powders are made and brought on the market that have many of these trace minerals. They're literally a food in a supplement form, a powdered down food, and that just shows you the nutrients can be found in the food. If it's just a green powder you're taking, well, if the minerals are in there, you can get them if you can get that food. And often we can't get that food, so we have to take the supplement. And it's not that it's not available, it just might not be available to us. So the four things I take, I think it's going to be four, is number one is Moringa. Moringa is an amazing, amazing food. It's like our creator's multivitamin. It has all of the minerals and nutrients that we need and so many that aren't discovered yet. Moringa is amazing. Now, most people can't get Moringa. I grow Moringa, but I also take Moringa powder, which I make from my own trees, and they sell Moringa powder on the market. Again, it's a whole foods in a supplement form. It's just powdered down. And if it's done the right way, it's excellent. I definitely recommend Moringa. You can get it in a capsule form, you can get it in a powder form. It's wonderful. So Moringa is something I recommend for minerals. The other thing I would recommend for minerals is something that's uh, well known, but not too well known, and it's quite controversial. And it's something I'm more experimenting with now, but I know for a long time it's good. See, I always have been into sea vegetables. I think sea vegetables are extremely important and extremely helpful to help the body get uh, the minerals that it needs. Sea vegetables like nori, kelp, dulse, these are wonderful, and they have been pretty much one of the most important parts of my diet over the last 30 years. And most people don't know how to work with sea vegetables, but those you could just break up and put on a salad. Nori is those things that you would find that wrap sushi that you eat when you eat sushi, but you can make vegetable rolls with it or just cut the nori up and put that in a salad. And even now, nori's become quite a common snack at a health food stores for children. They take nori and they kind of, I don't know if they season it, but they add a little flavor to it somehow through or adding oil to it or whatever. But nori has a tremendous amount of minerals, trace minerals, however you want to address it. That's really good. So sea vegetables and moringa are two things that I think people should be taking. Now, when it comes to the sea vegetables, there's something that's controversial or it's not well known, but it's getting more well known, and it's called sea moss. Sea moss is uh, 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 it's a sea vegetable, and it can be taken and you blend it up and you take it in a gel form. And sea moss is another sea vegetable that's so powerful and becoming well known for its wonderful mineral content. Again, how to get the nutrients with very little waste left over, sea vegetables. So moringa, sea vegetables. Another thing people don't realize is when we talk about the body getting rid of things and producing B12 and just helping stay clean, it's probiotics. And yes, there are probiotics in the market, but something we could have to think about is fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut. Now, the ones you find in the store are loaded with way too much salt often, and they're probably made with tap water, who knows. But if you could learn to make these things at home, which they're not difficult and not expensive at all to do, You just got to figure it out, watch a video, learn how to do it. It's very simple. Excellent, excellent. So I definitely recommend things like kimchi and sauerkraut. And they may give you some of the minerals you need, some of the vitamins you need, but they're helping keeping that healthy intestinal flora to help your body deal uh, and do what it's supposed to do properly. So that's the other thing I would recommend is the fermented foods. And then the last thing I want to mention today that in my four things that have helped me in my diet over the years, and I definitely see myself doing better when I have these things in my diet, which I recommend is sprouts and microgreens. Now, I tell people I grow most of my food and I love growing my food, and it's my goal to one day grow all my food. But people make excuses. I don't have the time, I don't have the space, I don't have a yard. Sprouts and microgreens such as sunflower microgreens and pea microgreens, they can be grown inside your house. And I have other videos, I'll put a link below where I talk about how to do that. But as simple as taking some seeds and soaking them on your countertop. In a couple of days, you have sprouts that are loaded in not only the essential minerals that people call the trace minerals that our body needs, but also loaded in other things that people often have issues with, like getting the proper amount of protein that's digestible without leaving much waste left over. So a vegetarian diet without sprouts and microgreens would be pretty low on the side of the proteins, and a meat-based diet with the proteins are low in digestible protein, because even though people are digesting it, their body's not able to assimilate and get the nutrients they need without having so much waste left over. So the key and the answer should be to get the sprouts and the microgreens, and you're assuring yourself you're getting the proper amount of protein or essential amino acids your body need, while giving your body the chance to properly digest it and get rid of it. So these four things, again, we have the moringa, we have the sea vegetables, we have the probiotic foods such as sauerkraut and kimchi, and you could say other fermented vegetables as well. And then we have the sprouts and microgreens. These four things, I believe, have made a tremendous difference in my raw vegan diet for all these years in my health, and they're not difficult to do. Moringa, yes, I get to harvest my own and powder my own, but you can buy moringa powder. I actually sell moringa powder on the website, but I continually look for a good source that's comparable to the ones I get, and soon I might be powdering my own and making my own available to everyone. But there's many places you can buy moringa because it's so popular, because it does work and it's that good. So this moringa seed vegetables you can buy everywhere these days, but if you go to a local international grocery, they have all these different types of seed vegetables. You can get seed vegetables pretty much anywhere, and they're very simple to make, whether you're cooking them or eating them raw like I do. Excellent to add to your salads. They're wonderful. And then there's the probiotic foods. Making kimchi and sauerkraut, I got to admit, I had to go to YouTube and I had to figure it out, but eventually, after failing several times, I figured it out. And you could buy it from the store, but it's not that inexpensive if you go to buy it from the store. But if you make it yourself, it's excellent, especially the kimchi. The kimchi is the one in the store is not vegan. It's just high sugar. The sauerkraut in the store is pretty good, but still, making it both yourself is not expensive. You could do them at home inside your house. And then the sprouts and the microgreens. What an amazing food that's not difficult at all to make or do. I have videos here showing you how to do them. So simple. I'd say the most important thing that people aren't doing, and simple thing that people aren't doing. I believe more people need to add sprouts and microgreens to their diet. I'm here to help you. If you put your comments or questions below and need help with any of these. But these are four inexpensive ways to get your body the essential minerals that we can need, help your body to assimilate things like the B12 that people often aren't doing through the intestinal flora in the body. And again, there's nothing wrong, and it's helpful to take a B12 supplement, a vitamin D, K2 supplement. I don't see an issue with that. As a matter of fact, it might be helpful for some people. Take a blood test and monitor where you're at with these things to make sure you're doing okay. And until you figure it out, take a supplement. But that's it, folks. It's not that complicated, but I do believe there are many people that fail at eating both anyway, whether you're eating a meat-based diet or whether you're eating a vegetarian diet or a raw food diet, because they're not getting enough minerals. And hopefully after today's video, you'll make some of these changes. Don't just try to do one thing. Don't just say, oh, I'll just add moringa to my diet or I'll add sprouts. I mean, you can do that and it's going to be helpful, but why not add all 4 things that I'm saying? All right? No excuses, success. That's what we want here. Hopefully these tips and pointers will help you. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody, and a great raw life.
Is wealth good for your health? This is the Raw Life Health Show.